Hello everyone, welcome to my latest video. Today I'm going to be taking you through a sketch I did on Bloor Street West and just sharing the process. This is a scene that I've sketched in the past. I actually like to revisit the same scene after a year or so has gone by just to see how I've improved or what's changed in my sketching style. So that's where we are today. We're actually at the second floor of a Starbucks looking over this nice little building. It's a rainy day, but there's still lots of pedestrians and activity, people walking to various stores. I'm starting, much like I always do, I'm measuring out my scene very carefully with a basic unit and then just getting the proportions and the extents of the scene laid out before I start going. Now I wanted to share that I'd recently done a course. I'm slowly working my way through a number of Domestika online courses, and there's a really great French artist that I just recently did a course with, Lapin, and I'm sharing some of his sketches up above, and he's very free and intuitive, and I find it very inspiring, his style, where he doesn't do any of this pencil work that I'm doing, but rather just starts immediately in pen and then grows the drawing organically from that initial sketch. And it's funny, I used to do this on the TTC all the time, so I'm sharing some of those pen works that I've picked up again. I have a whole bunch of old moleskins I used even in school and just never finished them, so I've brought them back, and then anytime I'm going downtown now on the TTC, I just doodle, and it's straight with pen, it's very free, and then I'm actually experimenting with adding some watercolor to the pages. So I thought I'd share this because of what I was recently exposed to. If you find these drawings interesting, let me know if you'd like to see a video on them. And so I'm trying to incorporate some of the Lapin approach in my watercolor sketches. Now, the paper here doesn't really translate to that raw, go in with pen only first approach. So I am trying to stick with my own process, but incorporate as much of the new as I can. And I've only done a handful of these online courses, but it's always interesting how everybody has a very different approach and philosophy. Some don't like lines at all, and it's all about the paint in a very I suppose hands-off approach to working with the paint, like getting the page wet and really allowing the paint to do its thing. And then others are very much more maybe illustrators, and so they want a lot of control, like Lapin, over the watercolor washes. And so it's interesting to see all the different approaches. And so here I'm being a little bit, trying to find my own approach in that I like working wet on wet a lot. And so for the sky, I made sure, and the road, making sure wet on wet. I like how the paints mix. I tried to leave a light spot above that telephone pole for the sky and sprinkle in a bit of pigment and texture. And for the road, I also wanted to do something different, and so I'm sort of punching in pigment for the dark shadows. There was a lot of water on the road. There was a mixture of reflection, and then depending on the light, also a lot of shadow. And so trying to get that, I used the end of my brush to scrape some of the pigment just to give a contrast and texture to what I was doing for the sky and for the buildings. Sure. It still does feel a little bit static to me. I think I'm coloring in too much, like just outlining everything and then painting like a coloring book. And I still haven't found that mixture that I'm looking for. There's a guy I'm sure I've talked about before, Captain Tom, and his sketches I find so incredible, but I don't know how he does them. Because he doesn't, I think he uses just very minimal paint strokes to get these incredible drawings. And I think they're more illustration than painting, but I don't know how to do it. I'm going to drop one in just so everybody can see for reference. And there are moments in this one, like some of the reflections on the road, I actually quite like that little mechanical piece at the top of the building in green. I like how some of the shadows and there are some unexpected artifacts made from the painting process. So there are moments in each drawing that I like. And now I'm just adding details to the people. I try to leave them to the end with as much white space behind so that they can be as vibrant as possible to stand out from the rest of the drawing. I feel like they've turned out okay, close to what I wanted. I like some of the green and the red jackets. I feel like there's some volume there. And now just going in and adding a little bit more pen detail to finalize the sketch. And so I'd mentioned that I didn't quite get my Lapin fix in the building sketch or the street scene. And so when I was done, I sketched that hatchback on location, trying to emulate that style a little bit more. So really relying on just drawing what I see in pen. And then at home, I actually went on street view of the same location and found that green garbage truck and then the black pickup truck. And so I still did do some construction lines in pencil, but really tried to do a combination of almost blind contour, like really paying attention to the lines that I'm seeing, following it with my eye as I'm drawing in pen, and trying to capture as much character, I guess, in the line as possible, and then coloring it in sort of Lapin style with watercolor after. And so I will leave you with this exercise. And if you've made it this far, please let me know. Comments and likes and subscribes are very much appreciated. It helps my small channel keep growing. So let me know if you've made it here, and thank you so much for watching.